Warning. The following content is intended for immature audiences only. The opinions of these two fine gentlemen should not be taken seriously at all.
The JTS 51 Podcast. Introducing your hosts, JT and Sai.
Hello and welcome to the JTS 51 podcast. Introducing myself, my name is JT as always, and Sai, my co-host. How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, not too bad. I'm excited to be here, mate. I know I'm here every week, but yeah, excited to be here. And I'm absolutely roasting.
It's a bit hot, isn't it? It's a bit hot, bloody hell. Oh, mate, I'll tell you what, not had a bloody good couple of weeks, mate. Fuck, this is how you know you're getting older. I went football a few weeks back. Absolutely fine. Killed it, actually. Had a great day. Scored a few goals, set up a few goals. It's brilliant, all going well.
Humble.
The crowd's going.
I like
it. The crowd's going wild. When I say crowd,
Exactly.
There's a few squirrels sitting on the side there, and a fox playing at my local football centre. Came home, showered, knackered. Right, went to bed. Absolutely fine, no problem. Woke up in the morning. Tried to get out of bed. I couldn't, and I was like,
"Yep."
What has happened here? Like, I'm feeling pain. And then I actually stood up and it was my back, mate. And I'm thinking, right, I'm young-ish. I'm not super old. I'm older. I'm definitely getting older. I was telling you, I've got a little bit of a spare tyre around my belly at the moment, but it's never affected me before. But, mate,
I wanted to tell you about that. I was standing in a queue today, and I am getting old, so I started to do that. I just stand there and put my hands on my hips. I don't know why. I just started doing it.
It's a dad thing. It just happens.
And my missus goes, "Don't stand like that. It's making you look fat." And I'm like, "No, it's my fat making me look fat. I'm just standing normally."
Yeah, there's only so much you can breathe in and stand there with a good posture. Do you know what I mean? Suck it in. Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly. Suck it in. Suck it. I've given up now.
I don't know why. I used to do that all the time. I used to literally do that. Anyone around me just sucking my stomach. I was like, why am I doing this now? It's just, I let it all hang, mate, honestly. I'm married now, doesn't matter.
That's what happens, isn't it? Hey? You keep nice and trim, and then you meet your missus like 5 years later, look in the mirror and you're like, what happened to me?
It goes down the hill, mate. My missus has got a feature on her phone, right, where she's got to change your wallpaper.
Yeah.
So, every time she, after I think it's like maybe 10 seconds or maybe a minute, it will change.
Yeah.
And it's just a really cruel before and after pictures of me.
That is fantastic. That's fantastic.
If you had to put it like in an advert, oh my word, it would be the worst before and after in reverse. You know, you got the before and after pictures where someone looks really, really bad and then they look good, and that's the after picture. I'm in reverse, mate. I look better. I looked much better before, but now it's just terrible. Oh, sorry, mate.
You know those people that like take a picture every day for like 25 years since they were like a kid or something, and they don't look too dissimilar. You know, they're like a young lad, and they grow up and they look fine. Pictures of me would just be like my face gets wider and my hairline going backwards. That would be the fast forward of all those pictures.
Join the club. I'm in the same boat, mate. It's just terrible, isn't it? Oh, I don't know, mate. We're just getting older. You know all the stuff that your mum and dad used to say.
Yep.
Oh, I'm feeling old, getting older. You're like, yeah, right. It's never gonna happen to me. And
not
then,
getting old.
You know,
no,
I'm there now, mate. I'm there. I feel every bump, everything, mate. Oh my god. So yeah, I stood up and I just felt like extreme pain, and I was like, I've never had back problems before, right, man? I was just like, this is new. This is terrible. I can't twist. I can't turn. I'm struggling to get up, like stand up. This is terrible. And I was just like, Jesus, like what has my body come to? So it's affected me though, because I haven't played football for the last couple of weeks, and it's just, you just take it for granted. When you're in normal health, you just take it for granted. It's like when you're ill, right, and you can breathe through your nose. The minute you can't breathe through your nose, you start thinking about all those good times when you could breathe through your nose, and how you take it for granted.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it's terrible. And it was the worst time for me to have a bad back, because with my company, we like to do charity days and volunteer days.
Right.
I signed up to it way before the injury, and I signed up to painting. So we went to a place, it was like a homeless shelter, and what we do is we'll have a few members of the team doing the gardening, we'll have a few members of the team doing the cooking, the lunch and the dinner for the day. We'll have a few members of the team painting. I said, I'm pretty decent at painting. I do, quite a good amount of DIY at home, not a problem. So I had to paint fences, right? And because of my bad back, this is how it went. Top of the fences look amazing. I can reach them. Brilliant. Bottom of the fences, it's a whole different story. Oh my God, I couldn't bend down properly, right? So I was literally leaning, like literally, I can't describe this well, but I was leaning forward, so I'm at like a 90-degree angle, and I'm leaning slightly to the side to alleviate the pain in my back. And what happened was, and this is going to sound shocking, I was obviously holding my breath as I was leaning forward. So I was trying to get the bottom of the flipping fence painted as quickly as I could. My watch started vibrating like viciously, right? And I was like, oh shit, what's going on? And I got back up and it said something like, your heart rate for the last minute was 120 beats per minute. Is everything all right? I was like,
Mate, that's a workout, painting the fences.
I was like, oh no, I better chill out. Oh my God. And I was just like, well, you know, the guys next to me, there was a girl like that painting as well. They're absolutely fine. They're a little bit younger, so they're proper crouching. They're getting the details on the bottom of the fence,
like squatting down to get to the bottom. Yeah,
like proper on their knees, right? And I'm like, I can't do that, man. So I was like leaning like an absolute knobhead, just trying to quickly get the bottom done. I was dropping paint everywhere, like it was just a sloppy job. But the top half was amazing.
Yes.
Oh man, back injuries are terrible. Bloody hell.
Did you do that? See, whenever I've had a few bad backs. And then you end up doing other weird things to try and compensate for it.
Absolutely.
So the getting out of the bed, I think I've said to you before about this, I do this thing where I roll over and then you almost put your legs down as if you're kneeling and then you push up from the floor from like almost a squat position so you don't bend your back. I can't quite explain it, but yeah, I've ended up doing that. I've said to you before about leg day down the gym, but it's almost the same when you've got a bad back. You're like side shuffling down the stairs and things.
That's right. No, I get it, man, because I'll be doing it myself.
Yeah, the best ones are like trying to put your shoes and socks on because you can't bend in the middle.
Tell me about it. So I was struggling. So I was like, so that morning I was like, I thought I'd do everything as normal. Mate, everything hurt. Me brushing my teeth, hurting. Me putting my trousers on, hurting.
Yeah.
Getting my socks on. Oh my God, it was terrible. And then my shoes, my trainers aren't slip-ons. They're like literally you got to get your foot in and get your finger at the heel and actually put your foot. Couldn't do that. I was like, what am I going to do today? This is ridiculous. Sweating as well. I am literally sweating at this point because socks was a struggle. My shoes was a struggle. Everything you do involves your back is crazy, man. I was just like, oh my God. I remember when I was at work, it was fine because I took like a few ibuprofens and I'm bearing through it. It's not too bad when you're sitting down. But yeah, I come back from work and I see my dad. I'm talking to my dad. And at this point, I'm feeling a bit tired. My back is hurting. I don't know why. I just decided to go against the door frame and just lean against the door frame. And I was like trying to massage my back with the door frame. But I was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know why I'm doing this actually.
But it's working, right? It's working. But even
yeah.
the things you wouldn't expect to engage your back. So like I suffer with hay fever. And I've had a bad back when I've had hay fever. So you blow your nose and your back hurts. And you're just like, oh, this is awful. And like you cough to like clear your throat. And you're just like, I just did my back again. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Mate. Yeah.
The slightest thing, man, could actually, put you in severe pain. It's terrible. Absolutely terrible.
It's amazing, isn't it? Eh? We are getting old. There's no doubt about it. We're not even that old, but we're getting old. I'm feeling it.
This is going to sound really stupid to people, right? But since I was a kid, I never needed to warm up playing sports. Like I could literally rock up to where I'm going to play and jump on and I'm gone and I'll be absolutely fine. Like there'll be no problem. Even till like this year, absolutely fine. I can go in cold and during the game I won't go like within the first minute I wouldn't be full sprint. I'll be doing slight stretches.
Enough to get you going. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah. Whereas now I'm double thinking it, mate. Now I'm thinking I need to get to football early, like 20 minutes early, and just start stretching. Oh my word, it's terrible. Hopefully I get over this shit and I can actually start playing again soon because I'm missing it. Actually, it's only been 2 weeks, but I'm missing it because the Euros are on. So we've got football mania.
Oh, it's football, isn't it? I've said to you before, I'm not the biggest football fan, but I do like the big games. I do obviously support England. Yeah, which
as we all do. Yeah,
it's been painful the last few weeks, mate.
Just terrible.
Honestly. I mean, they've also I mean, like I say, I don't follow it too much. But the game has like changed enough for me to notice it now. I meant to talk to you actually because I'll get your opinion on some of this stuff. Yeah. As we moved into football, all this new AI they brought into it, Do you reckon it's improving the game, or are we just it's too silly now? Because I saw something like let me check this up, and I didn't believe it at the time, but there was a load of stuff that sort of popped up, and it was like this guy was offside by like a toenail. I think that was the joke, and I was like, this is ridiculous. So I had a look, and he's literally off like this. It is a toe like offside.
That's right.
Like,
it's
what is
terrible.
this?
So basically, because our referees were so poor back in the day, I mean, you got some good ones, and then what they started doing is they introduced VAR, which is virtual assistant referee. Now, in the Premier League, they've got a group of referees actually sitting in Uxbridge, right, in Stockley Park in Uxbridge. So they're streaming the game, and they've got the IT equipment in front of them, and they're in communication with the referees that are actually in the game up and down the country. So what it was brought in. So if the referee has missed something major, then the assistant referee can actually review the incident and advise them and tell them, something's gone wrong here, or listen, you didn't give a penalty, but there was a foul there.
Yep.
Come to the screen and we'll show you it. So they started doing that. Now with AI, and I'm not sure if it's AI or if it's just like actually no, yeah, you're right, it is AI.
I don't know if it is. I've just
that's what it looks
dabbled
like,
in
right?
it, so I'm not too sure what it's actually called or how it exactly works. I've just seen the screenshots and stuff with it and replays of videos to.
Yeah, they call it semi-automated offside. So basically what it does is the moment the ball is released from the person that's passing it to the attacker, they will freeze frame it. They'll turn it into a virtual kind of football field with the players, and it will literally tell you if the player's offside. Now, the only problem is it's too precise now. So basically... if the football player has got smaller feet on that day, right, he would have been onside. This is the way the game's gone now. The players getting penalised for having big feet.
So, ridiculous. I've seen the memes.
Crazy.
I was telling you about one earlier. It was just like, well, you know the joke that black guys are supposed to have big, appendages. So all I've seen all day long is people that have photoshopped these pictures of just got like black guys standing there with the like line down the middle with just their crutch. Showing us offside.
They're always going to be offside, you know what I mean? They're always going to be offside.
Forwards, they're always offside. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Terrible.
You'd think to solve it, what they would do is they would just say, right, work out the average size of human body and give it like 5%, 10%, whatever the percentage is, because then everybody could agree. Like if you're, like literally your hand is over or your foot is over, whatever it is, there has to be a line somewhere where you say it's definitely offside, but it has to be a percentage of your body. You can't have like, your nose is over.
Yeah. No, exactly. So what they do have, Si, is basically any part that you can score legally with your body on the pitch is going to be offside. So, for example, if that player's hand
a black guy with a big crutch is legit.
That's legit, mate. It's going to be offside. Basically, I think so. If a player's arm is offside, it cuts off at the t-shirt,
right?
So anything above the t-shirt line is onside, and it's basically legal. So you could score with your shoulder, for example, score with your head, knee, for everything, but obviously you can't score with your arm. So if a player and a defender were both in line, but the attacker's arm was on an offside position, that would be counted as offside. They'll cut it at the t-shirt line. There are some variances, but people are saying, is it really in the spirit of the game? Is it killing the spirit of the game a little bit? So but it's never going to be perfect. But I think they'll make changes and all that kind of stuff, and
just building a tolerance. That's all it has to be. Building a tolerance, because if you had a small percentage, whatever the agreed percent is, to cover those rare occurrences where it is just your toenail sticking over, then that's it. Because the same thing's happening with the old. I was going to ask you actually, like the handball rules. Because that's all changed as well, isn't it? Like they're all just trying to, like they're tucking their hands into their bodies, because if it hits their hand, then, because I've said this for years, if your hands are flailing around in the air and it hits your hands, okay, fine, that's legit handball. But if they're tucked into your body and it hits your hand, well, it would have hit their body anyway. So I don't think that's technically handball, but they used to give it, and so they've changed all the rules in that as well, haven't they?
They changed the rules, so basically, I don't know if you noticed this, size. So if you ever watch defenders nowadays, right, they'll run into the box and they will either put their hands behind their arms
Yeah,
to block a shot, right, or they will keep their arms like they call it in a natural position.
Yep.
If their arms are in any way in an unnatural position and the ball hits your arm, mate, they're given a penalty for it, which is very harsh.
Yeah.
Because you need your arms to jump, you need your arms to run.
Yep.
And it kind of favours the attacking team at the moment. So the only thing they do is if the attacker and the defender are too close together and he's kicked it straight onto his hand, they might not give it because of proximity.
Yeah.
Whereas if he's a few yards away and the defender's got his arms up, they'll give it. So it's completely changed. But you're right. Even if they tuck their hands into their body and it hits their hand, it's not going to be given as a handball. Even though it's hitting their hand, you know what I mean? Either do it or do none of it. Like, but yeah, it just, the rule seems to change every couple of seasons, mate. It's crazy. As soon as a controversy happens on the pitch, they end up changing the rules. I don't know if you remember, but a few years back, I think England were playing Germany. I think either in a quarter or a semi-final. And Frank Lampard had scored a legitimate goal. Ball struck the ball, hit the bar, went over the line, came back out. Goalie saved it. Now that was a legit goal that all the replays showed it, but we didn't have VAR back then.
Yeah.
We didn't have goal line technology back then, because if we did have it, then the referee's watch would have buzzed and said the ball's gone over the line.
Yeah.
So they introduced it after the tournament to make sure that we get these decisions correct. But yeah, it is an absolute joke, mate. It's for me. It's entertaining because you're getting almost kind of the correct answer if you know what I mean, when they can check it. So 9 times out of 10 the kind of decision is correct, but some people argue it's taking the fun out again, because when a player scores, the goal gets reviewed, and the players don't know whether to celebrate then and there only for it to be chalked off like 30 seconds later, or do they conserve their energy and say the goal's going to be checked, I'll celebrate after? But by that point everyone's calmed down, the adrenaline's worn off. Do you know what I mean? They're saying it's kind of killed the game, but it is what it is, mate. It's here to stay, so might as well get used to it. Yeah.
Like I say, I think building the tolerance, because that was the whole thing about football, is that it was just a fun game with real basic rules. Anyone could play it, anyone could understand it fairly quickly, and you just crack on. The second you introduce all these weird, wacky rules, you're right, it sucks the fun out of it, and everyone's screaming for VAR. And it's
that's right. That's right.
Oh man, but yeah, it's the game, isn't it? And like I say, I don't watch it too often. This is my first introduction of it, and it's absolutely, like, from what I've seen in this small little tournament, it must be wild. Like when you enter like the proper leagues.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But I've got to say, this tournament has been absolutely brilliant, and the reason why is because every single game that I've watched so far has been amazing, apart from the England games, which sucked the life out of you. Do you know what I mean?
Do you know what? I feel myself getting frustrated, and I know I support England, but I'm not a big football fan, as I keep saying.
Yeah,
but,
I get you.
I want the team to do well. Even if they going to say something very controversial, because I don't follow football too much. I'm not even that put out if they get knocked out. Yeah, that's not like my dad will go mental, like, because he's a big football guy. He would be throwing furniture around. He'd be upset for a month. Like, he'll go quiet and just, he'll be pacing up and down. Exactly.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think most of the countries like that, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly right. So I'm
not
really like that. I mean, I'm obviously a little bit disappointed when they got to get knocked out, but I'll get over it quickly enough. But yeah. I just want them to play well. And at the moment, I'm just like, oh my God, we can't even string 3 passes together.
This is it. Oh my God, this is it, mate. Honestly, like I said, every game I've thoroughly enjoyed, apart from England's games, where like it's just literally sucked the living flipping fun out of everything. It's so bad. Like I'm watching, like I've been watching all the games, right? And smaller teams from smaller nations are hell bent on giving everyone a good viewing, right? They are literally going out there playing football, never say die attitude, literally giving their all, which is fantastic to watch because both teams are attacking. It comes to England, oh my God, like my heart is in my mouth, man. Honestly, I'm thinking like, what is going on here? It's like, oh Jesus, it's been so bad. So England, amazing players. The first time I can generally say world-class players up and down in that squad. Everything is right. From defence to up front, everything is perfect. We've got amazing players. Why is it going so shit when we can't do anything on the pitch? And there's only one man that I kind of blame this on, and I think the whole, a good portion of the nation blame it on, and that's Mr. Gareth fucking Southgate. I hate Southgate, man. I genuinely hate the boring bastard. He's the worst, absolute worst. So, right, I'm sure. Look, I know he's a nice guy. I know he's a nice guy, right? But he is such a boring bastard that it's literally reflecting the way the team are playing at the moment.
Boring's okay if you're getting some result. Like
if
if we played boring, but we just started we played really dull football, but we won a game. We held the ball, we won a game 1 or 2-0, and we got through the group stages like that. We held the ball, we had a load of possession, bunch of shots on goal, but it was just boring football. Yeah. Everyone could deal with that, but we're not doing that.
Everyone can deal with it. Not a problem. Not a problem. Yeah. Look, if your team is winning, but you're not playing great, like remember we spoke about this a few episodes ago, where you got like different football fans and what they expect of the team. Yeah. If you're winning and you're playing great football, that is like the pinnacle of a fan. Like if your team's playing great and they're winning, brilliant. Your team's not playing too great, but they're still winning. Again, that's really, really good. Like you'll take it all day. When your team's playing shit and you're not getting results, like that's the worst. You can't do anything about it, right? So with our team, it's like, yes, okay. At this the time that this podcast comes out, like we already know what would happen in the Euros. But as the time we're recording this, England are in the quarterfinal, right? They're through the group stages. They've won 1 game, drew 2 games, bored the living shit out of the whole nation. The third, the knockout last 16 game, they've literally were losing for 94 minutes of the game.
It was 95 minutes, and they scored in the very last minute of the game.
That's
right,
ridiculous. Courtesy of a long throw, right? All the tactics go out the window. Long throw comes in. Bellingham scores a worldie. Excellent, right? And then we score again, and the game's over. But our team is so crap. It's unbelievable the way they play. Like I said, Southgate, the man personifies boringness. Like he is terrible. His favourite meal was a ham sandwich. I'm sure. Like, do you know what I mean? Like he is
me and veg
unbelievable. Yeah, do you know what I mean? It'll be like, can I have a ham sandwich? Hold the ham. I just want like the most boring guy. I'm pretty sure he's a nice guy. He played for my team when he was a player. Yeah. He played for Villa. Even back then, he was known as being like a boring bastard, like a goody two shoes. Like I'm sure he's a lovely guy. When it comes to the England job and being a manager, he is terrible. Now people will say, right, Southgate has got us to a final in the last Euros. We lost in the final. Southgate got us to the semi-final of the World Cup, I believe, as well. Okay, cool, not a problem. We weren't playing that bad then. We are shit. Like, this is so bad. Whereas Gary Lineker had to physically say the words like we've been shit on a podcast. So I'm like, I agree, Gareth. I agree with Gary Lineker's opinion on Gareth. He's gonna go. Like whether he wins this tournament or he doesn't, he's gonna go because this team is world class. You get any other manager into this team that's worth his salt, right? He would immediately make this team better. But this team personifies Gareth Southgate, and that is unaspiring, boring. Getting a result, but not the result the way we should be getting it, for example. And we're getting lucky. Let me tell you something. England is getting lucky. We're not facing Germany. We're not facing France. We're not facing Portugal. We're not facing Spain.
All the big teams.
All the big teams are on one side of the tournament. And should we beat Switzerland by the time this recording comes out, guys? Obviously, the future. We know what's going to happen in the future, but by the time the podcast comes out, right, we're playing Switzerland. And if we play Switzerland, then we'll get the winner of the other 2 games. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where we've got the easy side of the draw. It could easily win it if we can start playing some good football, like some decent football. But no, Gareth Southgate and his decisions are just, mate, just makes me want to punch a kitten. Do you know what I mean? That's how infuriating his football is, man. I swear to God.
Dear, it's so frustrating. It really. Yeah. Do you know what's funny? I've been looking down all the comments because I'm amused by the comments that pop up all over the internet.
That's the most fun. That's the most fun thing to do.
And I see a lot of stuff about saying, the English players, they just don't want it. Like, that's not true. It's simply not true. Because if you're a professional sports person, there's nothing worse than losing. You have to accept it. You have to be professional with it, but nobody likes losing.
Especially on the biggest stage. This is the biggest stage on the world stage. Yeah.
And then you go to, they're overpaid, right? Which is another one of it. And that, again, it doesn't make sense because in football, the entire thing is meritocracy. You only get to the top if you are the best player. You don't get paid millions if you're awful. You'll just be playing for some, lower division team. You'll just never rise to the top in England, it's the Premiership. You're never going to get to play with those big teams if you're a rubbish player. So it just makes no sense. Yeah. And I've even seen the things. Well, they play well for their clubs, so why can't they play well for England? And I sort of get it a little bit because you think, going to be ridiculous here, but you think of it in your own job, you know. You and I can do our jobs day in, day out. But the second we pop out of our jobs and you go and start a new company, like, right, I don't know what my password is. I don't know what. You forget everything. Everything. You're like, you know, what's going on? You know,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
So I understand.
But the only thing is that
I understand, right, that they're playing for like a different place, different set, all of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
There is all of this. So I understand all of that. But their basic skill level, they should be able to string a bunch of passes together and just generate something, just accidentally.
Exactly. You know what? Your analogy is perfect there. So let me put it into context. So imagine we're working in a place, but we have an amazing manager, right? We've got an incredible manager that is literally telling us exactly what we need to do, the way we need to do it, and when it needs to be done by. And he's holding our hand, he's supporting us, everything we need, he gives it to us.
Yeah.
Then we're going off to this other company where they've literally picked the best employees from every single company and they put them together, right? We're in this room, we're all together, everyone knows we're brilliant at what we do and that's why we're here because we're the best in our field. But we've got a clueless fuckwit, right, that have a manager and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. We'll be lost, right? We'll be lost. And that's the best analogy I could have for the England team. So you've got...
One of my favourite things is, like, whenever the camera pans to Southgate, he's always having conversations and writing stuff down. But then he doesn't change anything.
Nothing happens.
He doesn't substitute anyone.
That's
we don't
right.
change any of the positions. We don't change the formation. Like, what the hell is he writing down?
What's on his notepad?
Yeah, exactly.
I'll have a sandwich for dinner tonight.
Hamless ham sandwich.
Hamless. I'll add cheese. Oh, man, actually, no. Scribble out the cheese. Just plain for me. What drink shall I go with? I'll go with water. I'll go with water. Water and bread and butter. That is my dinner tonight.
Oh,
I don't know, man. He's the thing is, like, look, I don't like criticising people too much, but Southgate did not deserve to get the job in the first place, right? So he managed Middlesbrough, right, a team that wasn't very good at that time. And actually, no, they were decent. When he came in, they were okay, but he did nothing with them, like absolutely nothing. Literally was really bad, and then he ended up getting the England job just because he was there. That's how he got the job. He was just there that day.
Brilliant, yeah.
They said, "All right, mate, come through. You're our manager." And I think it's just it's a shame, mate. When you got world class players in your team in every position, bar maybe one or two, and they look like a bunch of amateurs that have had a heavy night playing in a Sunday league, in a pub league. That it takes a lot of talent for someone to make world class players look absolutely shit. So I'll give him that. He's got that in his bag. Oh mate, Southgate, get out of here, man.
Because I mean, I sort of get it because I was looking at some of the statistical stuff afterwards, and on paper, our defence is doing fantastic. Like, of all the teams that they're on, like, our defence is solid, yeah? And I think I said to you earlier, what he should have done is, right, because he is a defender, isn't he? That's where he is a defensive player, right?
Yeah.
So
he's always been a defender.
He's nailed down and he's, pinned in the defence. He's got that locked in, right? I said to you earlier, he should have got Shearer in there and just said, right, well, now we've got that done. What the fuck do we do in front of the team?
Well, defence is sorted, but what do we do once we cross that line?
Right.
Like, shit.
Exactly. I don't know what we do.
Yeah, that's the thing. So he's I got a feeling like he's really pally with the football players. He lets them do what they want. So there are managers out there, so I don't know. This could be quite profound. There's managers out there that have a plan, a system, and they implement that in the team, and then they get their results by saying to the players, "This is our system. Keep doing it. We'll get chances because this system creates chances."
Yeah.
There's some managers out there now that basically assemble a team, and what they rely on is keeping it tight at the back. So that means keeping clean sheets, keeping it, all that kind of stuff, but relying on one of his outfield players, so one of the midfield or the strikers, to produce a little bit of magic to win the game. Those kind of managers that rely on a player to produce a little bit of magic will never do well in the game. They might do well for a short period, but for sustainability, managers that come in and actually implement a system where you're going to create chances regardless of the personnel, just because of the way you're playing, they're the managers that go far in this game. Southgate unfortunately comes under one of those managers that needs to rely on a player producing a little bit of magic like Bellingham did, to win games, and that's terrible. We should never have a manager like that.
No, I was going to say, and the same thing with Kane as well, because all I keep hearing is in all of this, Bellingham and Kane, they have to be patient. They'll get their chances. I get it, but if they get 3 shots in a game And, like in each game, they've scored a goal, like between the two of them, right?
Yeah,
and they've had,
right.
like I say, maybe 3 shots each. You're just like, that hit ratio is phenomenal. It would be better, right? So it's not the players. But, you know, if I had a 1 in 3 chance of scoring a goal, I would play for England right now. That's incredible. But that's an amazing hit rate. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get what I'm saying, right?
I know exactly what you mean. Yeah,
they should be having like 20 shots, like at least.
That's it. This is the thing. So you got like Kane, who's a little bit older now. He's 30. Still banged in goals for Tottenham, left, right, centre, getting like 20, 30 goals a season. Not a problem. Goes to Bayern Munich in Germany, banged in 30 goals there, comes to England, can't hit a barn door. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's terrible. Like, what is going on? And it's, to be fair, look, it is on the players a little bit, but the players look up to the manager to produce them a game plan, a tactical plan to beat their opponents. Southgate just, even if England score a goal, he doesn't tell them to carry on and get the second or third goal. He says, right, lads, everyone back in our own half. We've got one. We got one. Yay! Get back. Just, that's it. The player's like, boss, what do you want us to do? He goes, just get back. Get back.
I know.
That's it. That's what it is. Mate.
Do you know, that's what I was going to ask you as well, right? Mm-hmm. I've noticed this a lot. And not many of the other teams do. Or I haven't noticed the other teams doing it. Our goalie, Pickford. Why does he keep coming out so far? Because
Jordan Pickford.
Right, hang on. Let's just, before you give my answer to this, because this is my layman's sort of observation of it, right?
Yeah.
It would make sense if our team were pushing forward. So he was he's picking up the loose balls in that back line. That would make sense to me, right? But he isn't. He comes forward out of his penalty box to where the defensive line is, and our team is like, our forwards are standing on the halfway line. It's like, get forward, guys. I don't get it.
Jordan Pickford, right, is
mental. Enigma, I've seen that much.
Yeah, he absolutely is. So he's defined as a ball playing goalie, right? So there's a few of them. There's a few of them in the world. What he likes to do is he's a mental case. Don't get me wrong. Like he loves to be involved in the play.
I love it.
So
though.
if
he's a character, we need more characters.
100%. 100% he's a character. 100% he's a character. What he does though is he likes to be a little bit ready. So in case a ball comes over the top, he's already on the way to clearing it. If it gets past the defense, he wants to push his team forward. He's mental, and some of the memes of him, by the way, are hilarious. Right. So if you have a look online on social media, they give him T-Rex arms because his arms are a little bit short. So every single picture he's got T-Rex arms in the memes. It's hilarious. But with Pickford, he is a goalie that likes to be ready, be on his bike. So in case the danger does come, a striker gets away, or there's a chance that it's gone over the defense, bypass the defense. He's on his bike, ready to kick it out, play and reset. But the thing is, he does it a bit too much. He'll go forward a bit too much. Sometimes, like you said, the defenders will be on the halfway line and he will be about 30 to 40 yards away from his goal and literally just be standing there for the fucking sake of it. You know what I mean? And you probably saw this side, but last game it nearly went against us where the other team nearly scored from the halfway line. It just went wide, and I was like, Pickford, why you didn't have to be that far out? What is wrong with you, mate? It's like he doesn't want to be near his goal, but that's what he does, mate. He normally wants to get involved in the play. He's way out of his goal, and he has been embarrassed once or twice. To be fair, he has. So it's something he doesn't want to take out of his game. He just wants to be involved in the play.
Do you know the funny thing is, I don't mind it, right? Because he's comfortable on the ball. Yeah. And there's a lot of games where I watch where the ball goes back to the goalkeeper and they're a little bit fumbling and they get a bit nervous and stuff like that. He's great like that, right? And as you were saying, I think it's great that, he's trying to push the team forward. He's trying to get them up the field to release the players to just push forward. The trouble is nobody's told the other 10 players that's what he's trying to do. So he's playing in midfield and the defence are behind him.
Southgate's got them coming back. Yeah.
In fact, the way we're playing, should we just put Kane in goal and stick him up front? He's pushing further forward than our forwards.
Kane sometimes drops deep so much because he's not involved in the play. He's probably nearer to the goal than Pickford is. That's how deep he bloody because when he's not getting the ball, he likes to drop a little bit deeper, get into midfield, and sometimes he likes to. They call it in NFL. They call it the quarterback role, where when the main player gets the ball and he throws it. That's what he does. He drops deeper and deeper and deeper when he's not getting the ball because Kane's game has never been about pace. He's not a quick player, so he relies on pure skill. He relies on timing, precision, that kind of stuff. So Yeah, it's an absolute mess, mate. And I don't know what's going to happen with England the next game. Switzerland are a great team. They're actually a really good, well-driven team that like to attack. It's going to be hilarious. It is absolutely going to be hilarious. Let's see what happens.
If we get through, the game to watch will be, if we get through, will be Spain and England. Because Spain...
Oh, that could be a final. That could literally be a final, yeah.
Like, honestly, I don't know what they're on.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. They keep running. They don't stop. They're always forward. They're always pressing. It's unbelievable. Yeah. They're just peppering the goal. If they come up against England, like, we'll be sitting on our goal. Like, you just have all 11 players just like lined up on the goal line.
Mate, that's what Southgate will do. Basically, with Spain, they get taught from a young age to play a football called tiki-taka football, which is pass and move. Right, you let the ball do all the hard work. You don't have to be the one chasing. You pass it to a teammate. You run into space, let the ball do all the work, and then if you do that, like little triangles all across the pitch, that's it. You're fine, and the opponent can't get the fucking ball off you. So, like, what can you do?
No.
And it doesn't matter with Spain. Like, if you have older players that have gone out that were legends, and you got the new generation coming in, they all play the same way. Whether you're 35 years old or you're 10 years old, everyone plays the same way. So it's like wave and waves of players that can all play the same way, and it seamlessly just fit in. Whereas England's a bit more different. But saying that, the new generation that we have now, they can play. We've seen it at club level. They can do amazing things. They can play exactly the way Spain plays. But when they put that England jersey on, Jesus, it just goes to shit. I don't know what it is, mate.
I don't know. We'll see. But I tell you what, like, everyone's giving England a hard time. Mm-hmm. But I did see the French got through without scoring any goals. They won one and drew two, and the one they won was an own goal. That's phenomenal.
That's it, mate. Yeah, there you go. That's a Southgate masterclass.
Yeah, exactly. He's looking. That's what he's writing down. You know, I say, what is he writing down?
He's taking notes.
Like, what did the French do? Own goals. That's how we score.
Genius.
Genius. Get the opposition to do the work for you.
Do you know what the funniest thing is, right? France actually, so the French nation actually call Deschamps, who's the French manager, he's like the French Southgate. But the only difference is Deschamps has actually won a World Cup and he's won things with France, but Southgate hasn't. It's like the only thing Southgate's won is a bloody Pizza Hut sponsorship back in 2000, I think. He's not won much. But yeah, it's just they're struggling at the moment, but they got, again, world-class players. They know what to do.
Yeah.
It's just that the difference is, they're actually forcing the other team to score their own goals. We're not doing that. We're literally not getting near the opposition goal at the minute. So, it's terrible.
I love those. I can't. Now, you'll have to correct me if I'm wrong here, because I may have heard this and it may have just been somebody making it up. But I'm pretty sure that although England ended up winning that game, right? Yeah. It was pure fluke.
Yeah, it was.
But then Southgate stepped out and apparently said, that's what I plan to do, or something to that effect. I don't know if that's true or not.
Absolute bollocks.
Is that?
Southgate
I don't know
lies.
If I'm sure I saw it, but I don't know if it was like a second-hand thing. I meant to go back and actually find it. But it was like, they meant to leave it into the last minute of extra time.
Bollocks. Absolute bollocks. That guy, his nose is big enough. We should call him Pinocchio, honestly. So he said, I never thought, even at one point in that game, that we weren't gonna go through. Now that's absolute bollocks. When it's 95 minutes on the clock and the ref has given 5 minutes extra, additional time, and we've got a throw in, you're telling me you still never thought you were going to go out? We all thought we were going out.
Yep.
You're lucky that one player had a moment of brilliance, which he's not had too many of this tournament. He's only 21, by the way. He just turned 21, Jude Bellingham. Like, he relied on one little bit of magic and it got us through. For you to have the balls to come and say, I never thought we were going to lose. Shut up, man. Southgate, Jesus, get out of here. What a plonker, honestly. That just goes to show the delusion the man has. Like, if you genuinely believes that, he shouldn't be a manager. Like, he was terrible. And the fact that then you had the nerve to go say that to the public, which they watched 95 minutes of absolute dross. Nah, mate, absolute bollocks. But it is what it is.
It is what it is, isn't it?
Let's see what happens. I'll tell you what's really funny, mate. So a little bit like you, right? My dad doesn't watch football at all, except when the big tournaments come on. So during the regular season, I support Villa. I'm always talking to him, like, just in general. He asks, how are Villa doing? How's Man United doing? How's Arsenal doing? Yeah, all good. Doesn't support the team. Watches games with me sometimes, though. He does watch games with me. but never doesn't support the team. Couldn't tell you any other players, like nothing. He still thinks Beckham plays. He's asking,
Yep.
he asked me the other day, "Oh, how come Rooney's not in the squad?" Dad, Rooney retired like 4 years ago. Like that's why he's not in the squad.
I love Rooney. Like, Rooney is quickly becoming one of my favourite people.
He's amazing.
Everyone took the mick out of him when he was playing, saying that he looked like Shrek and all this other stuff. Right? But now he's retired. I mean, he's not an old guy. He looks like
he's not.
He looks like he's about 70. I don't know what's happened to the guy.
He doesn't care. He's enjoying life, so honestly.
It's fantastic. He's like, I don't care. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
That's what
and
I'm
he
saying.
loves it. And he's brutally honest as well. I love him, right? I've always loved him as a player. I thought he was amazing. I thought he was literally a wonder kid when he was coming up.
Yep.
And as a player, he was phenomenal. Literally one of the best strikers we've ever had, all-round players we've ever had in England. I'll put that, I really believe that. And now he's at a point where, look, he's got enough money. He's married. He's got kids. He's got sponsorships. He's well financially, and now he's just enjoying life, mate.
He's done it. He's done the hard work. Yeah,
mate. He's in the pubs. He's having a few pints. He goes on holidays, and now he's on TV. He's on podcasts, and he's hilarious. He's actually hilarious. I thought he was a bit of a quiet guy that didn't want to do much, say much, but now that he's coming out, he gives no fucks. He will tell funny stories. He'll tell stories that he wasn't meant to tell. I think he's absolutely brilliant. But yeah, so my dad, right? So he doesn't know much about football, but bless him, he watches all the England games, watches the Euros, watches the World Cups, watches the finals, everything. So when he's talking to me, he'll be like, I feel like he really wants to know what he's talking about, like, or maybe he assumes he knows what he's talking about, but he genuinely doesn't have a clue. So it's hilarious. I mean, the other day we were watching England, and he was shouting at this guy, "Why isn't he tackling him? Why isn't he tackling him?" I was like, "Who, Dad?" He goes, "The goalie." I said, "Dad, that's our goalie." He goes, "Oh." I said, "That's Pickford." He's like, "Oh, okay. Is England playing in white?" I said, "Yeah." I was like, "We're at half time and you're asking me if England are playing in white. Like, what were you watching this whole time?" Oh, no, he's unintentionally hilarious.
So your dad was like me watching that game and saying, "Why the hell is our goalie on the halfway line?" That's probably why he's shouting, "Why doesn't he tackle him?"
No, he's brilliant, mate. Honestly, then he asked like stuff like, before the game started, "Yeah, is Gerrard starting today?" I was like, "Steven Gerrard."
Oh, yep.
He's 42 years old. Like, no, he retired about 10 years ago, Dad.
I still think that would have been a more exciting game. Bring back the legends,
Absolutely, yeah. No, he's absolutely brilliant. He's top quality. He really enjoys watching the games, but it's just like he doesn't have a clue what's happening in the regular season. So when the big games come, he'll be asking like, "What's Beckham up to nowadays?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, he's retired, Dad. He's still not playing." He'll ask me every game, "Yeah, it's Beckham. Where's Beckham nowadays?" Like, "Is he playing?" No. Dad, Beckham's gone. He's long gone. He's retired. He's like almost 50. He's enjoying life.
Just forget about it. They just kick back and they don't care. Yeah.
Yeah. He goes, "Shearer?" I said, "Dad, Shearer's like 50 years old. He's you can listen to a podcast if you want when you're the one, but yeah, he's not coming, man." I said, "Dad, he's in the studio."
Next, you'll be telling me Lineker's retired. What's up with you?
That's right, exactly. Yeah. I said, "Dad, he's in the studio. You can see him at half time. He's not going to be on the pitch, but he'll be a presenter in at half time." Oh no, he's absolutely hilarious, mate. I love watching football with my dad. Just for that comical factor right there.
Oh, it's just a fun game to watch, isn't it? I will agree. There's no other game like it. That it's just, you can sit down. You don't really have to know what's going on. You can pick up the basics just by watching it. It is entertaining, even though we have a little bit of a poke at England playing not very well. Yeah. It's still, if you're not supporting England, it's still an enjoyable game. Like, if I wasn't supporting England and it was another team, I'd just be like, "No, they're playing all right." It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, that's true.
They're fine. You imagine that. Like, if you reverse that around and like England was, I don't know, Poland or something like that. Yeah. And they'd scored in the 95th minute or wherever it was, went into extra time, scored within the first minute of the extra time. We'd be like, "That's an amazing result." It's because it's us,
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. I think with great expectations, obviously, that's what it is with England fans. Like, we've always had a sense of entitlement that we should be better than what we actually are. Like, we're the nation that created football. We've got the most money in the whole world when it comes to the football, like, the Premier League. So we should be doing better. But yeah, it's just really funny. It is really funny. I think one thing that makes me laugh about my dad, watching it with my dad as well, is like he will mispronounce the names of players quite often. So the funniest one was, speaking out, he goes to me, "Oh, what's Ronaldo doing nowadays?" I'm like, "Who? Ronaldo? you talking about Cristiano Ronaldo? Yeah, that's him. What's he doing nowadays? I'm like, he's all right. He's playing for Portugal. He's still a bit old now, but yeah, he just hilariously mispronounced the names, and it just cracks me up so much. Honestly, I'm like, do you speak about football to any other person? Because if you do, let me know. I'll give you some tips. I don't want you to embarrass yourself.
Give him the highlights, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hey, but speaking of Ronaldo, what was that thing that came up on the BBC when he took a penalty? It was like Ronaldo.
Mistiano Penaldo.
That was it.
Oh, mate, I saw that. Even I thought that was
What
harsh.
was it again? I didn't quite catch it. What was it?
Mistiano Penaldo.
That's fantastic.
Hats off to whoever came up with that. That's brilliant. But even I thought that moment, that's a bit harsh. Do you know what I mean? That is a little bit harsh.
That's phenomenal, mate. I don't, because everybody's like, oh, this person should be sacked. I don't think they should.
Nah, no way.
If from now on any player makes like a proper flunk up, like when they're about to score and it's a proper open goal and they like launch it into the stands, somebody has to come up with some sarcastic line and just drop it in. I think that should be a thing.
Oh, that'd be brilliant. That'd be absolutely brilliant. I know Gary Lineker likes to drop in a few puns every show. Right. Like I love Gary Lineker. I think he's hilarious. So they do that, but that was the first time I've actually seen someone, a BBC editor or someone, put that on the screen. I thought, they're gunning for him here. That's brilliant. That is absolutely brilliant. And maybe a slightly bit harsh, but that's brilliant. I rated it. I did rate it, to be fair. That's really good.
For me though, that's just a bit of harmless fun though, isn't it? Nobody's really hurt about it. It's poking a little bit of fun. As long as but they should need to open it up. They should be poking fun at everybody, and it shouldn't be rude. Like it shouldn't be rude or harsh or anything personal like that. It should be about the game. But just some little funny puns and stuff, because it's going to happen in the newspapers. Everyone anyway. It's going to happen all over social media anyway. Yep. You don't want to make it. You don't want to make it too ridiculous, because then it just becomes a meme game in a game of football that's actually quite serious. But a little subtle thing every now and again, just because it only flashed up for such a little brief moment of time, didn't it? Like it's only 5 seconds. It's only if you're paying attention. Yeah. So just something like that. It's like a spot the Where's Wally thing in like a game or something like that, but only in the big games as well.
That's right. Literally, it was 5 seconds, if that, and I thought it was hilarious. And I don't know why I was looking at that bottom left corner. Normally, you think like it's like the time of the incident. Like it normally says what time it was, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But then when it said that, I literally was laughing. I think I was having a drink. I think I kind of spit it out a little bit, thinking oh my god, that's hilarious, bloody hell. Oh, that's excellent, mate. That
was fantastic. Because the thing is, either that person had it prepped and was hoping he was going to miss, because. I don't know, you might be able to correct me on this, but I think in tournaments, like World Cup tournaments, he isn't great at free kicks and penalties, but I don't know how true that is.
Right, so I can tell you, I think in the last 60 attempts he's had with Portugal in international tournaments, he scored 1. Right, so it's come to a point where, because he's Cristiano Ronaldo, because he's one of the most famous people in the whole world, because he earns so much money, if there's a free kick, Portugal's got a free kick, right? He's taking it. Yep. And everyone on his team is scared to say, Cristiano, you know what?
Can we let Bob have a go?
Yeah. Do you know what? Is it all right? I mean, you haven't scored for a while. Do you mind if I take this one? But yeah, it just never happens. Doesn't matter where he's on the pitch, he's just going to hit it. And his stance has become quite iconic before he takes a free kick. Yeah, he's standing in this like kind of V shape, and he's just like he's takes a big breath, and then he absolutely fucking smashes it. But you saw it yourself, mate. It's going nowhere near the goal. Like all this like 2 minutes of hype before a shot comes, and it just hits a poor fan in the face like by the goal, mate. So. Oh, it is hilarious, mate. It is hilarious.
But yeah, that made me laugh. It caught me out as well. Oh, there was that other thing as well, wasn't it? The I don't know if this is too controversial, but the Rudy Hullett blackface guys.
Oh, Rudy Hullett, yeah. So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen this, it's a couple of Dutch fans who dressed up as Rudy Hullett, but they had the hair, they had the shirt, but what they also included was getting his skin color correct as well, like. What did they put on? Is it's almost like a blackface, isn't it? Just getting that shade
really
of colour.
Heavy tan. I wouldn't call it blackface, but I'm just maybe that's just me. But it was a really heavy tan, wasn't it?
The thing is, Rudy Hullett loved it.
He thought it was hilarious, didn't he?
He thought it was brilliant. He goes, "Oh, you know what? the fact that I've still got fans doing this for me, I love it. And then, but people are getting people on other people's behalf.
Yeah, getting wound up on somebody else. See, this is the thing though, isn't it? You know, everybody, the papers are trying to push it. You know, social media's trying to push it, and he's like, it's great, I don't care. But then where does it go from there? Because if the person himself isn't offended, well, they can't push it anymore.
Offended?
Yeah,
exactly that, mate. It's just an opportunity for people to drum up more hate, I suppose, mate, and the controversy, make more headlines. Do you know what? Speaking of rude hate, right? Playing in the same era, so I've got a story about an ex-England footballer, actually, which is my wife reminded me. This is a funny story.
Juicy. Yep.
So it literally is juicy. I'm glad you said that. Right. So this is what happened, and you'll see why. I mean, literally juicy, right? So my wife worked at Wembley in the hospitality sector. So basically, it was a part-time job. She was very young. She just needed a job, and she found a job as a waitress, basically. Got it. So she was working in the I think it's a corporate hospitality where all the famous ex-players kind of get a lovely meal before an England game, and John Barnes was there.
Oh, love John Barnes. What a great player.
Amazing player, great guy. Like, you know, he's a legend, right? England legend. So he's getting a nice meal. He was actually meant to be on TV in about 2 hours' time after the meal. So he's getting a nice little lunch in. My wife had the pleasure of being the waitress to bring him his very nice lunch. He ordered a steak, rare,
fancy.
Right? Yeah, I think it was rare or medium rare. Now my wife has a thing, hates blood, gets freaked out, and literally not the best job if because not the best job to have if you get freaked out by a little bit of blood.
Well, it's not so bad unless you're serving like rare steak.
Absolutely, yeah, exactly.
To that effect.
Spot on. Yep. So basically she gets a little bit freaked out by the sight of blood or any like pink kind of like colours that look like blood.
Yeah.
So she takes his order, gives it to the chef cooks it, gets a little bell, she comes back, she says, okay, yep, please take this to Mr. John Barnes. She's like, okay, no problem. Grabs a towel. Obviously the steak is hot. she's picked up the plate, she's taken it. On the way to John Barnes, she realises, my God, this steak is a little bit rare. I will say a lot rare, and the juices are just literally flowing out, and she's getting a bit freaked out, right? She's still holding the plate, she can see John Barnes, she's walking up to John Barnes. Now she's getting a bit more freaked out because the juices are going left, right, centre. Then what happens is, as she approaches John Barnes, she sees him, she gets closer to him, the juice has touched her finger on the edge of the plate.
Oh, yeah.
She freaks out. She drops the plate, and who did she drop it on? John Barnes. Oh. She drops the steak all over John Barnes. So basically, he's wearing a suit. It's gone absolutely everywhere. And to be fair, right, most people get angry. My missus, she's like really, really apologetic, saying, I'm so sorry. John Barnes, absolute gentleman, did not make a complaint. He goes, look, I understand, no worries, it's absolutely fine. My wife's giving him like the towel, like he's drying himself off. Absolute gentleman, didn't say a word, just said, look, it's absolutely fine. And my missus, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And what a legend. He just said, no, don't worry about it. And luckily he had another suit, got that sorted out. But yeah, that's my wife's celebrity story with John Barnes.
His reaction makes me like him even more. I wonder if he remembers it.
Absolute gentleman, yeah.
I wonder if he remembers it.
Oh, he will do. 100% he will do, absolutely. My wife then, I think this was only her first week in the job. She realised waitressing isn't for her, so she just locked herself up in the toilet for the rest of the shift and then never went back.
Ran away.
So, yeah. Oh, when she told me that story, I was cracking up. I was like, not the John Barnes. You dropped a steak on John Barnes. Are you mad? She goes, oh, the blood freaked me out. I was like, oh, that is hilarious. I said, I'm telling this on my pod one day. Oh, that'd be hilarious, man.
That is fantastic. Because then also, like, when you go to the next job, presumably, they'll be like, so what happened at your last job? Oh, no, just, it wasn't for me, whatever.
Wasn't for me?
Yeah, it wasn't for me.
Anything
and she's
happened?
thinking, just dropped food all over John Barnes.
Oh my God, when she told me that story, I was in tears, mate. I was just thinking, poor John Barnes. He's wearing a white suit as well. That's the worst thing. It's like a scene out of a murder scene, do you know what I mean? It's just, oh my God, it was hilarious. Hilarious when she told me that, mate.
I mean, even the money back then, I doubt they would have been too precious about stuff like that. But the fact that you just you expected a nice steak and somebody's dropped stuff all over you.
Oh my God, can you imagine? Yeah, absolutely. I felt like, was it secondhand shame when she told me that story? I was feeling embarrassed for her.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant story to tell.
They must get stuff happening, like, because they travel around the world, they must just have loads of stuff that happens like that all the time.
Yeah. Either he had his own suit, or Wembley England Association said, "Oh, no worries, we've got a few suits, just come in.
We'll sort you up." Yeah,
we'll sort you. Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of my wife, mate, she made me laugh. So she's last year we were already into fitness. Like, we were actually doing really well. We were dieting, going gym, we were doing really, really well.
Yep.
Then we ended up getting bloody COVID in January, right?
Yep.
So we think we got it at a party. Obviously someone's come in, infected us all. Thanks, mate, whoever that was. So yeah, me and my missus we're in bed in January, right? We've both got it, so we're just like trying to get over it. Then we start thinking, right, it's January, everyone kind of thinks of fitness again, goals and all that kind of stuff. And she said, do you mind if I buy a walking pad? I was like, what's a walking pad? She goes, basically, it's like a treadmill.
What is a walking pad?
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought, hey,
Yep.
What's a walking pad? Basically, it's a treadmill that you have indoors that you can walk on. And some of them go at a decent walking pace. So you can, get on it, walk at a decent pace. You can walk fast pace, medium pace, slow pace. Some of them you can actually even run on them. So they're quite good. You can actually, run at a decent speed on them, like jog.
So it's like a treadmill, but just designed at a slower pace. Is that
pretty much? It's not like you can go like super fast speed on these walking pads. But I think you could do like 15 miles per hour or something like that. Sorry, 15 kilometers per hour.
Is it motorized or like self-powered?
Yeah, no, it's you plug it in and it's motorized electric.
Okay,
yeah.
right.
So yeah, decent, actually quite decent. Like when we started looking at it, I said to her, right, you can get one if you really want to get one. If you want to get your steps in per day, some days like you don't want to go to the gym, you can still get your steps in, which is quite healthy. Absolutely fine. Great idea, not a problem. I said, look, we haven't got much space where we live, right? So I'll let you get one if you want one. I'll research one for you, all that kind of stuff, not a problem. But only on the premise, right, is when you want to use it, you can take it out, you can use it, and when you don't want to use it, you can put it away. I'll even create some space for you, so you can fold up, put it away. Went on Amazon, started researching, right, and I found one foldable, perfect, right? You just fold it up, put it in the corner. It's quite a big thing, but once you fold it, it's okay. I said, no problem, you can get this one. She goes, okay, no problem. Got that, made the space for it, assembled it for her. We bought that in like February, and to this day, it's been used about 4 times. To this day, it's never been put back where it should be put back. And because of this, I don't have a coffee table anymore, basically. So where the coffee table was, right, like she's moved it there, and the coffee table has gone in another part of the room where it shouldn't be. Now all the walking pad is for is literally hanging clothes on. Stacking boxes on.
Yeah,
mate, I can't sit on my sofa, and I can't put my dinner there. I can't put my drink on the table because the table was so far away. Like, it's just there gathering dust. I was like, why didn't I let her do this? This is crazy. And I think it was all because of the first time she used it, she found it a proper chore to put it back, like fold it up and put it away.
Yeah,
oh my God. But I thought that'd be a funny story to tell, mate, because I think it's one of those things where I'm pretty sure everyone's done it. Everyone's had good intentions to buy something, whether it's a bike, like a training bike, whether it's like a walking pad, whether it's like like a dumbbell set, or like the actual bench itself. People buy it with good intentions, but what happens is it ends up being part of the furniture that never gets used.
It just
to everyone.
No, it's 100% like you said. It turns into like a clothes dryer. So
that's up to one. Yeah.
We had a little cycle, like fold up cycle,
yeah.
static bike thing. Exactly that, sitting there, clothes all over it. We got the reason I asked you whether it was electric or sort of self-powered is we've got a self-powered one. It's just a walker, but it's what happened.
Yeah.
You used it for like 2 weeks, and now it's just a clothes dryer, right?
Yeah, that's what happens. Ours is a great clothes dryer, to be honest with you. It does a job. It absolutely does a job.
We've got again, Arthur, when I was thinking about getting fit, I bought a little it's just like a press-up bench. It's nothing fancy.
Okay.
Literally the chair and a couple of weights. Thought, it's something when I'm feeling a bit lazy, which is like all the time. I could maybe do a little bit of weights in front of the telly. No, it's sitting there. It's just got washing all over it.
Yeah, that's it. It's just it becomes part of the furniture.
Yeah, exactly. I might as well just forget all of that. Just buy a washing machine and just pretend I'm going to do some chin-ups on it. I'm not going to do it. just buy the thing that's going to do the job.
Oh, could you imagine? So you walk into someone's utility room one day, someone that's like, got a utility room, and you go in there and it's all just gym gear, gym equipment. With clothes on it everywhere. Oh,
I always have it always makes me laugh when we have these conversations, right? If this podcast ever goes anywhere and we ever earn any money of it, we can have a gym, but in the middle, should we just put a washing line? So we have all the gym equipment around the outside, and we just have a fold-up washing line in the middle, so that when we don't use the machines, at least we put the washing on a washing line.
That's it. I think that's perfect. It's 2 in 1, right? It's 2 in 1. We can call it the gym laundrette. So you come in.
Oh, we've invented something.
With all the intention of actually doing a workout, but it's there. You're just there to dry your clothes. Let's do it.
The room of good intentions.
Yeah. It's a thought that counts. I came in there with good intentions.
We're minding your track record.
With my laundry done.
Yeah. Well, we're minding your fitness track record. We go nowhere, are we? My gammy knees, your gammy back.
It's taking the piss. I don't know what's going on.
It's old age, mate. I tell you, I'm hoping, like touch wood, I make it to a good old age. But my joints aren't making it with. They're with me. That's for sure.
I'm thinking the same now. I'm thinking bloody hell. It's just not going the right way. To be honest, I'm aging more than my parents' age at my age. And they worked hard. They worked super hard.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Super physical jobs where I'm just like a fat cunt sitting on a desk and getting old. It's terrible, man. Oh my god. At least we can laugh at ourselves.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Eh? Can't poke fun at yourself.
That's
whatever.
It,
but it's funny actually, because like the same as my parents, they're always quite active and stuff, and they don't really have too many actual physical injuries from that.
Yeah.
I think it's because we sit at a desk all day, and then we get up after sitting down for 8 hours, and you try and do something, and it's such a shock to the body. It's like, what the hell's going on? And it's like,
that's what it is. That's all it is. Honestly, I think most people are in this situation. When you've got an office job, you're using your mind, right?
Yep.
A hell of a lot. Like more than probably our parents did when they were working, unless they had like super technical jobs. But like we're using our mind a lot. We get mentally tired, and then our body's just, trying to facilitate what your mind's doing. So basically, because you're using your mind, your body's just, you're sedimentary. You're sitting there.
Yep.
You're in your desk. You might get up to go to the toilet. Might get up to go to the kitchen. Mate, there's been days where I've only done like 1,000 steps just because I'm working from home, so which is terrible, right? It is absolutely terrible. Like I've done less. Don't get me wrong. I thought I'd keep it a little bit respectable. Yeah. But there's times when my missus come home and I've looked at my watch because I've been at home working all day, hit deadlines to hit, and I've literally done about 600-700 steps. And I was like, "How many have you done?" And she's done, "I've done about 9,000." I was like, "Oh my god." I'm embarrassed to say I have to pump up the figures. Yeah, I've done about 2,000 myself today.
Yeah. It's gone round. It's like the clocks in the old cars. It's cycled round, but it's digital. It's definitely.
It's not something up on my watch. It's not counting my steps today. I don't know what's going on. I know I've done more than 300.
It doesn't work.
It must be on the fritz. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. Oh man, yeah. It's just about, what it is about, actually making an effort after work, getting up. Go do something. I mean, weather's nice now, so I'm planning to. I would have done a lot more if my back wasn't hurt, mate. That's the excuse I'm going to give.
The problem you got now is the problem I always have. So you get an injury, whatever part of your body. Yeah, it's usually my knees that give out on me, but like your knees. Yeah. But then what you'll do is you'll spend a week to overcompensate with the rest of your body.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. So your back will get better, and then you pop a hip, or your knee will go, or something like that. So then you spend the next month just different parts of your body not working like they should. That's right. And then it goes back to the beginning of the podcast. You start thinking about all those times when your hip or your back was okay and you took it for granted. You just sat there doing nothing. You know what I mean? No, I know. Oh, man. Brilliant. Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the JTS 51 podcast. Really appreciate all you listeners and viewers out there. Please leave a like and what do you call one of those things? Subscribe. Yeah. Please subscribe to our channels. Buttons, thumbie uppy ones. Click all those things. Subscribing things and talk to us, man. Talk to us. We've been out for a while now. We've had no comments. What's going on? All three of you. Yeah, I want all three of you listening, right, including my wife, to leave a comment. Yeah, have a word with your wife, would you?
Yeah, leave us a bloody comment, man. God. No, but honestly, guys, we really do appreciate you taking the time out to listen to me and Si ramble on about life and everything in general. Just give us a like, give us a comment, hit that subscribe button for more excellent podcasts like this one. So I mean, if you don't give us a like, we're just going to give up. Not really, but give us some likes.
Well, just be me and you talking to each other. Tell you what, shall I leave a comment and just
I'll leave a comment as well.
That's 3 comments. Me and your missus.
Yep. And we've got one guy out in Indonesia listening to our podcast. I'd shout out to you. I don't know who you are, but thanks. He must have clicked on our link by accident. I don't know.
We found a niche market.
Indonesian market, brilliant.
I wouldn't have thought it, but brilliant.
No, absolutely brilliant. But yeah, and give us a thumbs up if you hate Southgate as well.
Well, this will go out. Unfortunately, the way we're recording it, this is going to go out quite a bit after the tournament. So
if Southgate's done well, if he's won, like we're going to say this now. By the time you listen to this, right, England would have either lost or won the Euros. If Southgate has lost us the Euros, please give us a thumbs up because we hate him as well. If he won us the Euros, please give us a thumbs up because that's fantastic.
Because we love him also.
I mean? Yeah, we also love him. So if we won, Gareth, amazing. You're the top. Never doubted you, mate. Thank you. Well done. If you lost, you shit prick. I hope you leave England soon. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, because we would never contradict ourselves, obviously.
No, absolutely not. Size, just cut out. Whichever one applies next.
Exactly. So, don't listen on past whatever bit you just heard.
Yeah. Make sure you get the right one. Don't leave this in, for God's sake. Yeah? Oh, thanks, man. Right, okay. That's a bye from me.
Yeah, it's a bye from me.
Thank you very much, guys.
Yeah, take care all. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the JTS 51 podcast. For more epic content, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for future episodes.